Hi, 7th graders. All right, go and get out your reading books. Remember, we're not going to do this every day during the week, but we'll probably do it twice a week. We are going to be on page number 3, and we're just going to walk through as much as we can together. It's not nearly as much fun as when we are in the same room together, because that way I can get your ideas, we can discuss it together. But, I mean, if it has to be this way, it has to be this way, and at least we can get some things done together this way too. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and just start lesson 1. Okay, lesson 1 is all about analyzing the development of central ideas. Now, you guys have heard what central ideas are since literally 3rd grade, and I know that for sure because I taught you it. But a central idea is just like, what is the main topic, or what is like the point of what you just read or what you just saw, okay? But we're going to analyze how that central idea can develop over the course of different information, different pictures, things like that. All right, let's go ahead and read together. I'm going to start right here. As you read, do you wonder what the author is trying to tell you in the text? Try to figure out the central idea or the most important points an author is trying to make about the topic. Go ahead and take your pencil, pen, whatever you got, and I'm so fancy. I got a highlighter. I'm gonna highlight what central idea is. Central idea is the most important point or points the author is trying to make. Okay? Oh, look how fancy I am. Sometimes a central idea may be stated directly, but more often it's implied. Then we must figure it out by analyzing the supporting details. Supporting details are facts, examples, reasons, and other pieces of information that are meant to explain and expand on central idea. Let's go ahead and highlight that as well. Supporting details are facts, examples, reasons, and other pieces of information. Okay? Examine the cartoon below. Think about the central idea and its supporting details. Okay, so let's look at the picture. What do we got going on here? We got a dude. He is brushing away dirt from a dinosaur fossil. He's got lots of tools. He's looks like he's being very gentle. Let's read this little information. Paleontologists search for fossils that reveal more about creatures that lived in the past. Okay, so can I obviously say that this man is a paleontologist? Yes, because the main idea is about paleontologists, right? What is the central idea? Circle parts of the picture and the caption, remember this is a caption, to support your central idea. Now, they already filled it in for us. What is the central idea? Well, the main point here is that paleontologists can help us learn about dinosaurs and our past. Okay? And we know this because it said that it reveals more about creatures that lived in the past. But let's look at their supporting details they gave us. The dinosaur bones show the shape of the creature from the past. Ooh, they're really, really reaching there for some details from the picture. So you could say, because paleontologists find dinosaur bones, we can now know the shape that these creatures were. Another supporting detail would be studying fossils reveal clues about creatures that lived in the past. So there you go. There's the word for word supporting detail that we thought of. As a good reader, you make sure you figure out how to find supporting details that work together to develop the central idea in the text. This will help you understand each important point the author wants you to make. Let's go ahead and turn to page number 4. Okay, read the first 2 paragraphs of an account about deep sea divers. Deep Sea Treasure Hunters by Ramona Rivera. Deep sea diving is a dangerous but fascinating activity. Some people dive for fun or sport, and some make a career out of hunting for sunken treasure. These types of career divers fall into one of two categories: those who want to study their discoveries and those who want to sell the treasures they find. The divers who study sunken treasures are concerned with the preservation of the sites. These divers often locate, map, and study shipwrecks. When they find a site the divers are interested in, using the information that the treasure provides to form a story about the ship that wrecked. By studying artifacts such as coins or jewelry found at a site, these divers learn many things about the lives of the ship's passengers. They also learn more about the cargo and the daily lives of the sailors aboard the ship. Sometimes they even learn why the ship sank. Okay. Explore how to answer these questions. What is the central idea of paragraph 2, and what are some details to support that? The author describes two career paths: deep-sea divers diving for money, and deep-sea treasures diving for gathering information. Which career path is described in paragraph 2? How do you know? What are the details to help you know that that is what they were saying? So in paragraph 1, they're saying some people can dive for fun. Some people can dive to look for treasure and sell it. Some people dive to learn and discover and to, kind of be more like a scientist. That was paragraph 1. Paragraph 2 talked about the divers who study sunken treasures are concerned with the preservation of the sites. Okay, so now we know what the answer is. The answer is that the second paragraph is about the scientists, pretty much. Okay, study the account to figure out a central idea and supporting details. Then complete the web idea below. Let's just fill out the central idea right now, because we know what the central idea is. The goal of some deep-sea divers is to, I think we're going to put right here, that it's to gather important information from the sunken site. Oops, come here, thing. Don't flip around. Gather important information from the sunken treasure. Remember, treasure doesn't have to be literally a treasure box. It could be like the ship. Okay. Now, we need some supporting details. They gave us one. The divers study artifacts like jewelry and coins. But what's another supporting detail? Let's go back and look. The divers who study sunken treasures are concerned with preservation of the sites. These divers often locate, map, and study the shipwrecks. When they find a site the divers are interested in, they use the information that the treasure provides to form a story about the ship that wrecked. By studying artifacts such as coins and jewelry, they can learn many things about the lives of the passengers. They can also learn more about the cargo and the daily lives of the sailors aboard. Sometimes they even learn why the ship sank. Okay, so that was a lot of information, but let's think for a second. I want to prove that the second paragraph is about people who gather important information. Okay? We already know that divers study artifacts like jewelry and coins. I'm going to say, there's so many you could do in here, you guys. There's no wrong answer, really. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, these divers often locate, map, and study shipwrecks. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to put for my supporting detail. If you have one that you really wanted to put and it was different than mine, you can put that, okay? Put your own, or you can just put mine. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to say divers often, I have to write really small. Okay, I'm already lost. Locate, map, and study shipwrecks. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to keep writing. I'm going to keep going. Okay, part 3. And you know what? I think what we're going to do is let's finish part 3 and then we will stop there for today and then we'll pick up on part 4 tomorrow. Okay? Okay, part 3. Continue reading about deep sea treasure hunters and use the close reading and hints to help answer questions. So these little guys right over here are going to be helpful when you are filling out your short answer. Let's go ahead and read. I'm going to grab my highlighter just in case I find things super important. I'm going to go ahead and read the close reader section first, just in case it's something that might help me highlight something in here. It says, the author mentions 2 central ideas in these paragraphs. Circle the first central idea and underline the second. Okay, let's do this. The deep sea divers pursuing profit must carefully research their sites to make sure it's legal to take artifacts from the location. They must also take measures to preserve the artifacts so that they don't corrode and lose their value once they're recovered. For these deep sea divers, the measure of their success is the dollar value of the treasure they find. All right, so what would you say is the main idea of that first paragraph? It's definitely about the people who are deep sea diving, not to just learn, but to actually find things that are worth value. So I believe I'm going to circle the first central idea. I'm going to say it's deep sea divers pursuing profit must carefully research their sites to make sure it is legal to take artifacts from their location. They must also take measures to preserve the artifacts. I'm going to stop it right there. So it's going to be this whole guy. That is the first central idea of the paragraph. Now I'm going to read the second paragraph, and we're going to underline. Whether deep sea divers wish to study treasures or collect it, divers must obey the laws, dive in teams, and be careful at all times. We must respect the power and the mystery of our oceans if we hope to uncover their many hidden treasures. Now, is the main idea of that tiny paragraph that we must respect the power and mystery of our ocean? Or is it that deep sea divers, no matter why they're down there, they have to obey laws? I believe it's that second one. I believe that it is that whether deep sea divers wish to study treasures or collect them, they must obey laws. And I guess you could underline the rest of that sentence. Dive with their team, be careful at all times. Okay, so that whole thing could be the main idea. Which sentence provides a supporting detail for what the idea that we must respect our oceans and their treasures? Which choice explains more about that central idea that we circled? Okay. Is it A, some divers spend a lot of time searching for sunken treasures? So just because some divers spend a lot of time, is that a good supporting detail of that the idea that we must respect their oceans and their treasures? No. A is not a good answer. How about B? Deep sea diving involves a great deal of physical training. So does that support the idea that we need to respect the ocean and their treasure? No. Just because you have to go train how to breathe underwater for a long time in a tube doesn't mean you're respecting the ocean. How about C? Divers must identify sites that are legal before they collect the artifacts. Does that support the idea that you have to respect the ocean and their artifacts? Well, yeah, because you have to follow rules, right? Legal rules. So I'm going to skip C because it does look like a good answer, but we always check the rest. How about D? Profit is the main motivation for some deep sea divers. Does that support why we need to respect the ocean and their treasures? Because profit is their motivation? No, D is a bad answer. So our best answer is C. Okay, show your thinking. Explain how the supporting details given by the author develop the central idea about divers searching for profit. Okay, let's reread that so that we really understand what it's asking. What supporting details can you find that show me that the central idea is about divers searching for profit? I'm not talking about the divers who are searching for knowledge. I'm talking about the divers who are searching for profit. Can you give me some supporting details that the author said to prove to me that the main idea of these 2 paragraphs is about divers searching for profit? You don't have to write too much. Obviously, there's only 4 lines right here. Just give me like one supporting detail. Give me one supporting detail that proves that these 2 paragraphs are about divers searching for profit. Okay? What you're going to do after you have written that, don't forget your capital letters, don't forget your punctuation. Once you have that done, you are going to scan this page, mainly this guy right here. This is what I care about mostly. And that is what you're going to upload for your homework today. All right, guys, if you have any questions, you may always ask, and I will help you with the scanning since it's our first day of doing it. All right, bye.